welcome to Knit One Heart
Part 2, episode 198.
It's weird that we're angled.
I don't know why it does that.
I know.
I have no control.
I'm Sheila, also known as Sheila D37.
And I'm Wendy, also known as Penny Winnie. Welcome back to the show, people. And if you're new, howdy.
Thanks for checking us out.
Thanks for checking us out.
And if you're a return viewer, thanks for coming back each week. We really do appreciate it.
We do.
So, shout-outs. First one is this is the last week to do the underappreciated patterns knit along for February.
Mm-hmm.
We got to think of a new one for March.
We do. We'll have to pick a new one. We'll look in the thread again. The thread's been invaluable.
Yes, it has been. So, get your stuff in. It's got to be finished by this month. It doesn't have to be started, but it didn't have to be
started this month. So if it's like an old whip, it's fine.
Yep.
But you got to finish it and put a picture of the finished object. It has to be a knitted item, and there have to be less than 30 projects.
And it really should be posted before the 4th, because we're probably going to record on the 4th of March next week.
Yeah, we'll keep the thread open until we...
Or is that the 5th? 5th. I don't know. You've never heard of the Ides of March?
Oh, the Ides of March is the 15th.
15th.
I thought you were asking me, is it March next? And I'm like, yeah, March.
No, Ides of
February.
Really?
The Ides of March is the 15th.
Okay.
Beware the Ides of March.
I couldn't remember. Oh, and this year, 15.
Cool.
Anyways, sorry. That's what I have to say for shoutouts.
We're still doing our contests for the snake tracks pattern, so keep going on that. Stephanie Talent, the amazing designer that did my sweater. What was it called? Now I can't think of the name of the sweater. It was a couple of years ago. She has that book out, that California Revival Knits, which is wrought iron cardigan. That's what it is. Wrought iron cardigan that I knit. That's gorgeous. And her book, California Revival Knits. And she's got other books that have just come out or they're coming out. I know about them, but I don't know if they're published yet. But she does a lot of designs. She's very good. She has her own group, Stephanie Talent's group on Ravelry. And she has started an audio podcast, and they're doing contests and giveaways and stuff like that in her podcast. It's audio. She's trying to get it on iTunes, and it's on the 10th and 24th of the month, every month. So if you go to her group, you can check that out. And last but not least, a little bird told me that Lise, the lady that did the shawl contest for us and everything, is looking for larger sized warm shawls.
Kind of like prayer shawls.
Kind of like big comfort prayer shawl things, warmer items. Lise did not come to us and ask us to promote this. We're not doing a contest for it, but a little bird told me she could use some more of the larger sized shawls. So if you happen to have larger sized shawls that you want to get rid of, PM me and I'll give you the address to send it to. Or you can look in one of our old episodes or episode threads, and her address at Webs is there. Just, as you're going through the winter, you might find some bigger, warmer stuff that you never wear.
I was thinking that we have a couple of prayer shawls that we were given. They don't have to be new. They're just gently used.
They gently used.
And I wonder if I talk to my husband, I might be able to forward them along, because they're just sitting collecting dust.
Yeah, just if you have it, I heard she's in need of that. So let me know. I'll tell you how to get in touch with her if you can't find the address. Just PM me. Penny Winnie on Rav. And that's it for shout outs this week. So on the dance card, number 1 is my Traffic Island sock by Red Scott, the designer. She has like a real name, but the pattern says by Red Scott, one word. I linked to it in the show notes so you can see. As you can see, I just started the chevron patterning on this. This is in Tumbleweed Yarn Sugar Skull colorway, which I love.
It's really pretty.
And this yarn is awesome. This is a very nice yarn base. I'm very happy with it. This is the first time I've knit with Tumbleweed yarns, and this is nice. So I can highly recommend it. And I also just love how it coordinates with my project bag. It makes me very happy. So that's number 1 on the needles. And the second thing on the needles is my Hitofude.
Cats are fighting.
Hitofude cardigan, again in the middle of a row. I am about to start the
Not a very good podcaster.
I know. Sorry. I'm just too lazy to be a really good podcaster. I'm about to start the 10th repeat. I need to do 16. So I'm getting there. I love how it's coming out. I worked a bit on it yesterday.
Yeah, sometimes the bigger ones are harder to get into.
Well, I was telling my friend Diane about this project because she wants to knit it too. It's very easy to memorize, but it's kind of boring. And because it's like the same thing in a rectangle.
Right.
So there's not a lot of variety, and it's like a pattern row, a purl row, a pattern row, a purl row. But the purl row isn't a true rest row because every 10 stitches or so you got to knit 2. So it's not, it's dull. It's simple to knit, so don't be afraid of this because the lace pattern is really simple to knit, but it's kind of dull. So I'm just plugging away on it. I'm hoping to see the dyer of this yarn, Enchanted Knoll Farms, at Spa this weekend in Maine and ask her if she can dye me up another skein of this so that I can have backup in case I lost too much yardage when the cat chewed my yarn. And also if I want to make it longer.
Yes.
Because if you look at the projects of Hitofude, some of the projects knit on the larger sizes are quite unattractive if they don't fall a certain length below.
Right, because it accentuates something you
don't
want to accentuate.
It's like, look at my fat belly. When you want it to be like, look down at my legs, which are nicer than my fat belly. Or look down at my hips. Or look anywhere but at my fat belly. So, which reminds me of my new song, All About That Bass by...
All about the bass,
about the bass.
No treble. All about the bass, about the bass. No, it's not very new, by the way.
No, it's not, but it's new to me. I bought it. Megan Trainor.
Trainor, yeah. I was going to say Izzy Azalea. But
I was running to it.
That's someone else.
I was running to it.
Yeah, no, my kids and I have been singing that for...
Oh, no, I've known about it for a while, but I just bought it because I bought some new music. So... those 2 things are the only thing that are actively on the needles. I still have my Busilla Christmas stocking, but I didn't work on it, and I'm not going to show it to you again until I do, because otherwise that's boring. But it's there. And eventually, when I have my full knitting mojo back, I will go back to it.
We ebb and flow with our knitting mojo.
Yeah, well, so much has been going on at my house. I'm just burned out emotionally right now. I need to tune out, so I have been playing video games.
See, it's funny, when I tune out, I read.
Well, I've been reading, too, but I have been spending a lot of my, what would normally be knitting time playing video games.
All right, so I got a couple things on the dance card. I am knitting on my Urbana by Stephen West. It's with Blue Moon Fiber Art Socks That Rock Heavyweight, which is a light worsted weight. It's in the mudslide colorway. I am doing it on size 9 needles. I don't remember what the pattern calls for. I want to say the pattern's a pay-for pattern, but off the top of my head, it must be, because very rarely is he a free pattern. I know you went
up a size from what it was supposed to be. I think it was...
well, but I was knitting, before I was knitting Cascade Eco, so that's a heavier worsted weight.
No, I mean, this time I thought you mentioned...
I did. I want to say it calls for size 8, but this yarn, at least this particular mudslide one, just felt very stiff on a smaller needle. So I'm using... It says I'm using a size 8, but I know I'm using a size 9 because I can see it on my needle. The pattern by Stephen West itself is a paid-for pattern. It's $6. It calls for Aran weight yarn on a size 9 needle. So, I don't know. This to me is really good. It's going to be soft and squishy.
Yeah.
But again, for the heavyweight, and it's the first time I've used Blue Moon's heavyweight, it just called to me for a larger needle. The 8 just wasn't
Drapey enough? Or
no, I didn't think
squishy
so.
enough?
Not for what I was looking for. I mean, it's a highly variegated color, which I think is great for this. But I'm in the middle of a row. I'm not a very good podcaster today either. I was trying to finish up. But what I am on is I'm on the second half of the pattern. There's one section where you have to do something, and I'm on the second half. You increase, and then you do something, and then you decrease.
Yeah.
So I'm on the second half, and I might... I have red, or I might use this to do it double.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool.
So, I was telling my coworker, she's like, red? I'm like, I want the contrast to say pow.
Yeah. I liked it when you did it the last
time. I liked the red the last
really
time,
pretty.
too. So, I have the keyhole.
Woohoo.
And the cast-on edge that I didn't come out so bad. See, that's it, right?
No, it looks pretty
Is
good.
that it? Yeah, that's it. And I found the trick on how to make it look... Doesn't look the same, but I found the trick on how to make it not loose.
Oh, cool.
At least for me, anyways, I found the trick. But and it just kind of happened. The other thing that's on the needles but no love was given was the toe-up size 11 socks. I think I'm going to rip that back so that I have something to knit on in the car.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And I think the key for me will be something I purchased.
Cool.
And I cast on one more thing because I was thinking the other day I wanted some nice cozy worsted weight socks. I was tempted to try and make these socks, but like I said, the needle just wasn't cutting it for me.
Yeah.
A lot of people have, but I would have probably really broken my thumb. So what I did do is I cast on a pair of socks with finger weight doubled. Still debating on whether or not I'm going to keep it that way. This is, if you guys remember, I did a few swaps, sock blank swap. So this is Knit Pick sock blank. I have enough Knit Picks that, you know, when I come to a heel, I'll pick one.
Yeah.
And just throw it in the heel because this, I think it's 400 yards, is not enough to do...
2 socks double.
No, probably not. And I knew that it had words on it. I forgot what it said. It says Frost, Harvest, Snuggle, These, Knit. I don't know what else it said, but this is somebody who dyed it for me. It's cute. So I think I'm just slightly off center, which probably works out well, and that gives me this variegated. It actually reminds me of Boston College colors.
Yeah, kind of does.
A little bit. So we'll see if I continue doing this. It's really soft and squishy.
Yeah, I like it.
But I'm doing it on 2.5 US 2.5 needles. I started at 3. They felt a little too big. I tend to make my socks bulletproof. I pay for it with my hands.
Yeah, I know.
I do, but I'm working at it because I bought a new needle that hopefully will help me work with my my Blue Moon's medium weight.
Cool.
So I don't know if this will continue. We'll see. But it's Knit Picks sock blank held double. And right now it's just a toe up. It will probably just be a toe up with a fish lips conceal. If I continue it. I should probably try and see if I can more. I knit this weekend really a lot, so by the time I was casting that on, my hands were sore. So I went to that larger needles. I think that's what I need to do is have one large project going and one small project going. Because I don't think my hands can handle the small too much all at once. But that's all I have on my needles.
Let's see. Rate your date. I have 1/2 PhD. I finished one of my Tropic Island socks. I think it came out amazing. I like the big chevron. I like the eyelet striping in it. I think it's really pretty. I think it really shows this particular yarn off well. And it fits really nicely because I measured the heel with my sock measure.
Your sock.
And I was able to put a little negative ease in it. My sock ruler.
Sock ruler.
Sock ruler. So it's a very good fit. The last pair of socks I did, the Fiber Nymph ones, the one that I measured with that thing, it's a really good fit.
Good.
She got exactly the right amount of negative ease. So That's been really good. So that's one. This is the Tumbleweed in Sugar Skull, Traffic Island by Red Scott. And then I started and finished Qanik by Amy King, who is also known as the purveyor of Spunky Eclectic Yarn. This is a colorwork hat. I decided to line it. The lining is Arcania Nature Wool, and the red trim and the little red details in there. That's all Arcania from my stash. The black is Cascade 220 that was in my stash. And the white is Lion Brand felting.
Oh, felting wool, that's
felting
right.
wool, which is really soft. Like, it's not like...
No, it's not scratchy.
It's not like you would think it would be. All stuff from my deep stash. Like 2005, 2006.
Yeah, that's what the sock link was from.
I did do a couple of modifications. My husband has a really wide head. Like, he has...
I didn't see that, but...
It's just wide. It's not
I
big.
know, but...
It's just a big head. So I decided to knit because I was going to line it. And there's a reason why I lined it. This is a very thick hat. Like, it doesn't really need a lining. But my husband goes out and does the snow blowing. And it's been really hard this year because it's cold and the snow is blowing all over. And he could feel the air through the other hat that I made him, which is knit out of bulky yarn. It's just a bulky ear flap hat. So I did this using the lined beanie idea. I just basically followed her instructions, but I did it for the amount of stitches that this was.
Oh, all right.
So I cast on the amount called for in the pattern, and then I followed Line Beanie's instructions for like the ribbing in here and how long to make this. And then I changed to the black and then did the little purl row to make the turn, and then I started the color work. So it was really easy to do that. And when I was done, I tacked this down inside the hat so that it won't come undone. It fits a lot better if you tack it down.
Well, it's weird because Zachary's I tacked down. This is the line beanie by Heather Kinney. Of
yeah.
Fiberista Files Highland Handmade Yarn. With Zachary's I tacked down. Max's I didn't, and it hasn't been giving us an issue. And I think Max's I just did slightly longer.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if that has something to do with it.
He had to fiddle with it to put it on to make sure that the lining
sat properly.
So I tacked it down. And then what I did is I knit the large, and I originally knit the large hat as written, but it was too tall in his head. It fit perfectly in the width of the head, but it looked like a baker's hat. So I measured my husband's head, and I went back, and I actually ended up doing this section the number of times written in the small medium portion of the pattern, and then just doing the top on that. And it took out about, I think it was 12 rows. I took 12 rows out, and it fits perfectly. And I'll put it on, but it doesn't fit me very well because my head is not as big as my husband's.
It fits me better because my head's...
Yeah, you have a bigger head than me. It's a nice warm hat. He's loving it. He's been wearing it all the time. It's really cute. And it's like toasty warm. And it covers your, it's really warm in your ears. So
See, my problem is my hair kind of brings everything I wear up.
Pushes it up, yeah. My
No,
husband doesn't have a lot of hair, so he doesn't have that issue.
I know.
It's so cute, though.
Now I look like I should be in Germany.
That looks good on you. This is one of the few hats that looks good on Sheila. The shape of the hat it's good.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's very nice.
My husband loves it.
That's what's important.
I give this pattern 2 thumbs up. It was so much fun to do. I always forget how much I enjoy knitting colorwork. And look at the top of the hat is so pretty.
Yeah.
It's almost a pity you can't tell that because it looks like a snowflake on top of your head. So anyway, thank you,
Unless
Amy,
the person
for the
is
pattern.
taller than your husband.
A lot of people are.
Yeah,
so.
I know. That's why I said that.
We have short husbands.
Mine's average.
How tall is he?
He's 1 inch taller than me.
5'7".
Roughly.
That's what my husband is 5'7".
Oh.
My husband's the same height as your husband. I'm like, your husband's short, man.
Well, next to the Max, everybody's short.
Yeah. So that's it for my rate your date.
All right. I have a date to rate. I have my almost year-long socks. These are just vanilla socks with it was the first time I used the Fish Lips Kiss Heel toe up with the Judy's Magic cast on. I did, and I've gotten a lot of compliments about how I did the contrasting color in the toe and like the lighter color in the toe compared to how people do darker colors and then a lighter foot.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? I've gotten a lot of compliments saying that.
They like that look.
Yeah. So what it is I had Miss Babs and I didn't have enough that would equal 2 socks. It was a sport weight. And it was a shorter skein than what they've been selling them for. So we had one of our prizes from the Podcasters Challenge.
Yeah.
Or whatever you want to call it, was the light color of Miss Babs. So that worked out great. So I used the light color. And I will have to say, as much of a pain in the butt as 5x3 ribbing, it looks really good on. Like, it slouches perfectly for me. I like slouchy socks. So I did 5x3 ribbing. I did screw up here a little bit. And this sock, I think, is the second sock. Just a tiny bit longer than my first. So this I did back in March. And even then, I noticed it took me a while to do this one.
Yeah.
This one took me less than 10 days to do. I have to honestly say, the carbons helped.
Yeah.
I moved along really quick with them, but I wore these one day a little bit inside the house, and I can't wait to wear them again. They're so nice and toasty.
Yeah.
So,
that's the best part about your socks.
I know. They're so toasty. They're not stretched out, although I think I have junk on the bottom of them. They're not stretched out or anything. They're really nice, and I love them. And I think I found them some other location yesterday or this morning when I was grabbing them. I think somebody wore them.
Oh.
Which is fine. But that's my project done. It's size 1.5 needles. I want to say it was size 1.5 needles.
Yeah.
Toe up.
Oh, if anyone's ever wondering what I'm knitting a sock on, it's always a 2.5 needle. Always. One time accidentally a 3. I like to knit a bigger needle.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the really tight ones. I did want to mention that I used 2x2 ribbing on this cuff because it went with the pattern.
Yeah.
Like I was saying 1x1 is my standard cuff, but if I can do something that like repeats, that picks up the pattern, I will adjust.
I don't blame you. I tend to do 2x2, but 3x2, I'm sorry. 3x2 is what I did on this one. And I kind of really like how, I mean, I don't do them for stretch.
Right.
But I really liked how squishy or I don't, slouchy is a better word for it. Slouchy this made it. Because I grew up in the era where slouchy socks were in.
Do you remember those, like, socks would have, like, a normal foot and then they'd be, like,
deliberately
like,
to make
puffy,
them look
like
like giant Fonda aerobic socks.
Like leg warmers, but on the top of your sock, yeah.
So that's how I like to wear my socks. And it's funny because my kids growing up, one of them would fold their socks down. I'm like, what are you doing? No. So, and the other one right now, the style for boys is to wear them up high.
I know. My son pulls his up to like the middle of his leg.
Yes.
I'm like, squish them down.
Yeah, so that's what we grew up on. And
we grew up with squish down socks.
We did. So I like how these are slouchy because I'm always one who likes a longer leg in the sock. So yeah, I like these. I'm so excited. It's only taken a year, you know.
Whirlwind Romance, no. But next week I will be getting the clue for the March
pumpkin?
clue for my frosted pumpkin stitchery. So I'm very excited about that.
Good. I can't wait to see what it is.
Me too. I'm looking and I have
Any
all my new
guesses?
stuff.
Any guesses?
Maybe a book by Jane Austen. I don't know. I'm not sure if they're staying with like kids stories, like because it was Alice in Wonderland and then it was The Secret Garden. Like Little House on the Prairie. I don't know. Like, what would
Oh,
be
yeah.
Little Women? It could be Little Women. I don't know.
Sure, what about Huck Finn?
Yeah, it could be.
No, that's in that age group, but for boys. What about the Hardy Boys or
Nancy Drew? I don't know. That's kind of like a
different
weird
genre. I know.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll find out. I don't know
just...
if they're sticking to like children's literature or if they're gonna range all over to just famous stories. So I'm kind of excited to know.
Sorry, I have an itch. Itch in the brace I had to get. Yeah, don't look at me for whirlwind romance.
So nothing. I do have a spinning project that I want to work on, and I will eventually. I had to take everything out of my eaves.
Oh yeah.
And I had to take everything out of my yarn closet. So everything is now in the middle of my office, my knitting office. I can't really get to anything, and that's kind of like. I need to wade in there and try to find the thing that I was going to spin. It's just, and I was going to put my other spinning wheel up there just keep my sidekick down because it's easier to, it's just smaller.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of don't want to put my spinning wheel up there in the middle of all that stuff. I want to be able to put it away. So it's just pushed off for now. Future dates, I am going to do Swirl Shawl by Li Juan Jing. And when I say I'm going to do it, it is an extremely old whip. I think I started it in 2007. It was 2006 or 2007. Maybe 2008. It's pretty old.
I think it was before my time.
I think it was. It's knit out of Jojo Land Melody, and I have one row of it done. And it's a modular knit. You knit these like swirl hexagon thingies, and then you attach them. Swirl Shawl by Li Juan Jing. And I was thinking that might be a good thing to bust out to break into my knitting doldrum that I'm going through right now. That's it. Yeah, Sheila will show you a picture of it. I didn't bother to bring my iPad over here.
Trying to think of what the best that will probably.
I'm trying to think, but nothing's happening.
Yeah, lights are on, but no one's home.
It's like a stole, and you knit rows of these like swirl things, and it's modular, so you keep adding them as you go.
So if you wanted it only 2 rows to make a skinny scarf,
I could stop and make it a scarf, but I have I got all this Jojo Land Melody.
It's almost like the Barn Reason quilt or any of those others, you know.
It's just the kind of thing where you have little finished projects, so I'm like, maybe I'll do a row or 2 on that. So I'll probably pull that out. It's upstairs.
Oh, good.
And then that would be another of my old whips that was like either frogged or finished. Yeah. So that would be good. So that's it for my future dates.
I'm debating on whether or not to finish the socks that I started with the 2 strands. If I do not finish them, then I will probably cast on for socks with this beauty, which is Blue Moon Fiber Arts, the Rare Gems Millends Fire, and it's medium weight. So I wanted, since I had worked on blue, and I'm working on brown, and I'm working on gray.
What are you going to make with that? Socks?
Most likely. But this one, actually, I've been looking at some patterns. This might become a pair of monkey socks.
Cool.
I did monkeys in a color very similar to this and I wore them to death.
Yeah.
But I really liked the feel of it, which is funny because here I am talking about not liking eyelets, but it's different eyelets. I don't know. People
have their little things.
But
everybody has their little things. Sheila does not like eyelets.
I don't know. You put them on and they just look too open to me. I don't know.
I could probably doesn't bother me at all.
I don't know.
Doesn't bother me, but it's her thing.
And I honestly have to say, if I do the monkey socks, and that's by, oh gosh, I forgot her name.
Is it Cookie A?
Yes. I'm like, how can I forget her name? If I do those, it will actually be cuffed down again.
Yeah.
I don't want to try and finagle the cuff up one.
Cuff up?
Sorry.
Toe up?
Toe up. And I'll probably do a gusset heel. I know.
It's like torture to me. See?
It's fun. I don't know why. I think our friend Tara was saying something about it. It is actually fun when you have to do a gusset. Not every time. But
I hate them. I've never liked them.
I don't mind them. So I may do that.
Oh, whoops. I think I made a mistake.
I definitely need to get, I mean, it would be nice to have a generic sock and then a pattern sock.
Yeah.
But if I recall, Cookie A's monster sock, monkey sock is...
It's pretty mindless.
Yes.
It's kind of like this, you know.
I may do the no pearl ones, though.
Yeah, I know.
Because they do...
Pearl.
Well, and it's not that. I've come to realize pearling actually hurts my thumb more. Believe it or not. I'm sticking to that excuse. I mean, I will do it, obviously. Because, ow, sometimes you have to. I have a hangnail I keep jabbing my finger into.
Ugh. So that's it for your feud today?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I'm getting the itch to cast on everything, but it's not going to happen because I don't have time to knit everything. Not like I used to at one point.
No, I hear you.
So.
Baubles and bling. I have baubles and bling coming to me, but none of it has arrived. So nothing this week.
I have baubles and bling. I shouldn't, because I really shouldn't be buying anything, but I do.
I'm telling you, there is nothing to do. Well, now it's better. But like for the last 4 weeks, shopping on the internet, that was like your entertainment. It was hard to drive to a store or do anything.
Well, I work anyway, so there's plenty for me to do. But it all started with me breaking my needles a week ago.
Yeah.
And I've been wanting... So, Hot Mills, I had purchased a set of cubics.
I just dropped a stitch. Sorry.
I purchased a set of cubics, but I bought them in size 24 length.
Yeah.
When I really wanted the 32. And when I went to return them, they didn't have the 32. I'll use the 24. Maybe give them away. Who knows? So I bought the cubics in 32. Size US 2. And I want to try... I really, really want to try to knit my medium socks at Rock in size 2 because I really do need to take care of my thumb if I want to knit into my old age. Otherwise, I won't be knitting into my old age because it hurts really bad sometimes. So I bought those because I want to cast on these. And then I bought a pair of carbons. I really enjoyed knitting with the carbons. So the cubics, just in case anyone's not familiar, I don't know if you get them. Cubics are the square needles. I can't remember who came out with them. Somebody came out with them before Knitter's Pride did. These are Webb's version. So this is, you can't really see it. It's square.
You can't tell that it's square, but it's square.
It's square. So then I'm like, I wanted to try the carbons. And I don't know why I wanted to try them. I just did. I'm like, you know what? I could always use more needles. Yeah, sure. So I bought 1.5, US 1.5, and Knitter's Pride puts the mark on them, but they're already wearing off. But the good thing is it also puts it on the metal part.
Oh, cool.
As well as the carbon fiber part.
So if it wears off, there's still somewhere that says what it is. What did you just drop?
I dropped a Lego thing, but it fell on my foot, my leg. I'm like, what was that?
A little skeleton man.
So this, it's black carbons. I don't have the thing. And I in the middle, so with the second sock of this, I ended up breaking my US 1.5 Knit Picks needle. Completely my fault. I didn't put it away properly, and somehow I snapped the plastic off the needle. Kept the needles though, because you never know when you could use them as cable needles or whatever. Anyways, I'll probably throw them out, or hair needles for that.
I don't really have that problem, so.
So I'm like, I had another US 1.5 Knit Picks. I keep saying knitters, Knit Picks. But for some reason, it wasn't flowing. So I decided to get the 1.5 carbons. And once I not cast on, switched to that.
Yeah.
It just seemed to flow better. It could have been in my mind. I don't know. But it flowed better. And
no
there was,
comment.
Shut up. No, I don't think there's any change in the gauge. Like, you tell me. So this would have been regular, what I was knitting.
No, I don't think
and
there's
then
any.
Go here. No?
No, they're
No.
the same.
I don't know if it was the material or something shiny and new. So I bought those, and I'm going to switch. These are the chai gu, which I love the chai gu. But I'm going to try using the carbons with this to see if it gets me at least motivated to do it. But, of course, what I have to do first is rip it back.
Oh.
That's I think that's where my motivation is so far.
No,
it's
that's
not that
it's like my Christmas stocking. I was enjoying that so much.
Until you messed up.
And so I ripped it back, and I got to, like, fiddle with it to get it back to where I was before, and I'm like, ugh, I don't even want to do it.
Well, see, that's the thing. All I have to do is rip this out, but it's 2 colors. So we all know ripping out 2 colors
And mine
sucks.
is like 6 colors, and what I really might need to do is rip it all the way back to before the Intarsia and start over again.
Oh, really?
I don't know if I'm going to be able... I don't hope I don't have to, but that would be the easiest way to deal with it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to do that. So I hear you.
So that's in timeout, probably until I finish the Urbana. Probably. Because if we're going on a trip, I'll probably take the other vanilla sock instead. And then I bought a Della Q interchangeable needle case.
Just like mine, only a different pattern.
Yes. Because when she bought hers, they didn't have...
They had one that you liked, but you didn't want to spend the money.
I didn't... Well, no, I don't think I even liked it. I think you got the last of the kind, and there was something similar, but not quite. And I didn't want to spend the money. I sucked up and spent the money.
Oh, you got a much bigger one than mine.
Same price. Go get yours. So anyways, this is my Della Q. It goes like this. I have my interchangeable Knitter's Pride Platina. Why am I saying Plantina? I'm thinking plantain. And it's got a couple of different pockets. I like it. I put all my needles in it. And
yeah, I have a small.
Oh, see, I like yours better.
You were going to get one like this.
I know. I mean, mine just has this, which is fine too. I happen to have some interchangeables, so I put my taller ones up there. It works out well. It was the same price as yours. I put all my cords in there. I got my thingy there. So I splurged on that. I like the pattern.
It's nice to
Colored
have
fabric.
them in a place where you know they always are.
Well, and the zipper with the case that the Knitter's Pride comes in, it wasn't user friendly.
No, it was not good.
So what I like for some reason, this is how it came. It came in like this, and you just tuck the end in, and it's really secure like that.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what I've been doing.
See, I keep my signature needles in these needle cases that I got from Lois.
Yeah, I got 2 of these, and that's what I think I'm going to put my more used...
My bigger ones are in this one, and my smaller ones are in
my more frequently used, like my 1.5s in this one, and my 2s in the other one.
So these are all my signatures. This is a Jessalou wedge bag with bunnies on it. And so I know when I want to grab my signatures, I grab this bag. And when I want to grab my platinas, I know to grab this. And then I have another separate roll for my knit picks interchangeables. And I like that I can just grab the one that I want.
Yeah, see, I only have one. This works out well for me. But these I'm going to put probably like my better used. I'll probably put my cubics in here. And I might invest in more carbons.
I don't know if Lois is still making these, but they're very handy.
Oh, I have 2 of them. She's given me 2.
Yeah, I got mine as gifts.
Yeah.
And I love them.
One of them has, I think, my Notion stuff in it. But maybe I'll change it.
Crushes and heartbreak. I guess my heartbreak this week is, along with the giant hole in my ceiling from the water damage, we have a tiny amount of water damage in the dining room ceiling, a 4 by 2 foot llama-shaped water stain in the living room.
And when she means llama shape, oh my god,
it looks like a llama.
You
There's a
couldn't have
little bit
planned that.
over the window too. There's a llama. A teeny bit in the entryway, my daughter's room, and a small one in the bathroom. So We have stopped all of the active leaking, but
That's good.
it's, we're going to need repair work. I have talked with the insurance company. They told us not to worry about it. The problem is that if we get any more weather, it might get worse. So we're just going to hang tight until winter's over. And,
What
and then
else
we'll
can
deal
you
with
do?
it. But our claim is being processed. They're going to try to hook us up with somebody to take a look at it. And
That's good.
the most important thing is that we filed the claim. So
Right.
and we're in the queue.
Right.
They actually had to hire another company from Texas to help out because they've had so many claims in Massachusetts. Almost everybody that I know in my town is having this problem. It's not just me.
Oh, yeah, no.
So that made me feel a little better. My crush is that I am starting Couch to 5K again, and I've done 2 days of it this week. So
As long as you keep doing it.
I'm going to keep doing it. That's it for me.
So my crushes and heartbreaks, I had my ankle looked at on Friday. It's doing well. I mean, it's really like a 10-minute visit. It's not even a visit, really. They put me into a brace, which is odd because the boot is a plastic encasing pretty much.
Yeah.
And I was able to hobble pretty well. It hurt me in other things because I was overcompensating. But now this one, I can actually feel it here.
Yeah.
So I'm careful with it. I'm slow. I'm still restricted. Nobody seems to be, calling me out on it. I still have a doctor's note to be restricted on my movement in the sense of I'm not going up to the floors to draw during the day.
Right.
We had our home appraisal last Thursday, and it's a little over $5,000, $5,500 worth of damage. Luckily for us, it stayed in one general area, and it was just because of where our roof overhangs into our addition. And he was very thorough to the point where he even gave us a price for the plastic and the tape it would cost to protect certain things, like when they do the plaster work. But what they don't do is like, so we had a whole, here's the drywall, and the seam of the drywall is what is the problem, so the plaster starts falling. I figured they'd replace the whole drywall. I guess they don't. They take a section of it. But they, first they gave us money for insulation and all that kind of good stuff. So,
and they told me they'll finish all of the ceilings after they repair them. Like painting and
right,
so that it looks like it did before.
Exactly. Yeah, they want it to look exactly. It'll look better than it
I'm
did
only
before.
going to
is
need
what I'm thinking.
probably 2 ceilings replaced. The other stains are small enough where if they make sure that they clean out the insulation and dry it out, they probably just need to paint.
Oh, good.
The kitchen, obviously, I need to have 2 sections of my kitchen replaced because that's where we had that wallboard and it like disintegrated. Right. There was so much water coming in that one spot that it just disintegrated.
Right. And we have certain areas like that too.
Where it's just, there's no saving. You can't salvage it. It's going to have to be replaced.
Also, we had Chinese New Year. We spent a nice day with my sister-in-law in Quincy, which has a Buddhist temple. Oh, let me tell you this. Side note. So we go to the Buddha temple. Quincy, you think your town's bad for plowing?
Yeah.
So 2 on each side. They was lucky that there was like 1 1/4 of a lane. It was really bad. So a lot of people were walking on the sidewalk. Sunday and was very nice during the day. It was really nice. So we go to the Quincy temple and there's no parking. So I drive into it and I said to my husband, I said, just go. I'll stay in the car if I double park. So I'm turning around to go back towards the thing and you hear this noise. And a gutter, a very big gutter, because this is a big building, like commercial type building, breaks and ice comes falling down.
Oh my gosh.
It had to have been no word of a lie, like 3 feet, maybe 2 feet wide by 3 or 4 feet long. It was a chunk of ice, came falling down, bounced on the ground and into a car.
Oh my God.
So I'm like, whoa. And, you could hear it. It was like thunder cracking if you were in the building. I was outside of the building. So a little later on, my husband comes out. They were asking for help to move the ice because the car wasn't really damaged, but you couldn't get into the car door.
Right, because it was so big.
3 adult men could not move that ice.
Oh my God.
Could not lift it. It was scary because if somebody had been...
That would have killed them.
Yep. Or if it hit the car, it would have done some serious damage.
When Jim was cutting the gutter troughs in our ice dams to help get the water off our roof, he would use a saw, like a tree saw type thing, and cut out like a wedge shape down to roof level. And it would fall off, and I was holding the ladder because you have to understand the grounds are icy too, so you can't just be up on a ladder. It's dangerous. And one came down right by my head that was like the size of a house brick, and I said to him, that would have knocked me out. Yeah. And he's like, I'm really sorry, it broke off and came down.
It wasn't intentional, but...
No, and
That's right.
It was not good. So but something that big, that would have killed somebody.
Yeah, it was
crazy.
It was. It really was kind of scary. I'm glad nobody was around. Like, it wasn't crowded because we really didn't go on the
ice
day
is
that we
deadly, people.
But other than that, nothing else is going on for me.
No. Gossip and innuendo. We're going to be at Spa in Freeport, Maine this weekend. If you see us, say hello.
So is that the name of it, Spa?
Yes.
Because I try and look up to see what the vendors were, and I couldn't.
It's by the NEDA, New England, or NEFA, New England Fiber.
Oh, okay.
NEDA. It's NEDA. I think it's NEDA. It's called like NEDA Spa. There is a link to it in our show notes on the blog. So you can click that link and it will take you to the information about it. And I fixed, there was a problem with, there was some random weird code, HTML code got in our stuff that was making that look weird. I fixed that. It looks fine now. It's easy to use. So check that out. But we're going to be there. If you see us, say hello. We're not doing, it's like a weekend spa thing where you spin. We're not doing anything special. We're just going up for the marketplace and hanging out. We're not gonna, we're not spending the weekend there.
God, no.
And don't forget to play in the contest for the snake tracks pattern. It's in the group on Ravelry. You can enter and we'll draw a winner for that next week.
And I think it's time for us to go.
So have a great week.
Knit with heart.
Bye.
Bye.
Because you know I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass, no trouble.